Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. 2 years ago today, I was sworn in as the Orange County Mayor. Since that period of time, an awful lot has happened in this community. But we have arrived at a critical juncture in our fight to contain the transmission of the novel coronavirus within our community. And I now find myself in a position that I must make an adjustment in our strategy. I am therefore compelled to take action, which is why I have signed Executive Order 2020-51, which will take effect on Sunday at 12:01 a.m. The order will require the following of businesses: social distancing of 6 feet or more to the extent possible. The order does not limit indoor restaurant capacity. The order requires facial coverings for employees and visitors or clients at a business. Businesses would be encouraged, where possible, to allow telework or establish a rotation or staggered schedule to reduce on-site employees. Businesses need to display visible signage reminding people to socially distance and wear a mask. Businesses need to use physical markings and/or other measures to help maintain social distancing requirements. Our goal is simple. It is to target the few bad actors. I call them bad actors because these are the ones who act like they care about the personal safety of others, when in fact, they only care about their bottom line. They put profit over people. The businesses who are the good actors and which comply with this order need not worry about the penalties.
Mr. Mayor, Kiara Shanti for Jericho Broadcast Networks. Question for you, and with respect to your lawyer. The CDC guidelines are just that, guidelines. They're not laws, so people don't have any real obligation to follow them. In addition, Florida statute and the Florida County Charter actually doesn't give you authority to make a mandate on masks. So how do you justify fining businesses for requiring customers to do something they don't actually have a legal responsibility to do?
Let me ask you a question. Are you an attorney?
I can read the statute as well as any attorney.
That's not what I asked you.
It's plain written in English.
I'm trying to establish the basis by which you're making your assertion. If you're an attorney and you've studied this and you're a bar certified attorney, then maybe you're qualified to make that statement. Are you a physician? Are you a researcher?
It's easy. It's called Google. I mean, not to be rude.
Okay, that answer is Google's the answer. Okay,
you know.
So what I would tell you is that we have competent authority that has gotten us to this point, and I'm going to listen to the competent authority.
The beginning of a press conference here in Orlando, Florida, and my quick report that I did for Jericho Broadcast Networks, whom I attended the press conference for, in obviously response to my questioning of the mayor for his latest order. Just to kind of review again, Mayor Demings of Orlando, Florida. Orlando, even though people consider it a city, actually has two different mayors. Mayor Buddy Dyer, who is the mayor of Orlando City, which is the downtown area, and then Mayor Demings is the mayor of Orange County, which Orlando City is in, but encompasses surrounding areas of downtown Orlando proper. A couple of months ago, he instituted the mask mandate, and of course, I had some questioning about that, and as you saw in the report that I just played for you, I kind of gave you a review. And the reason that this matters is Orlando might not be the city, obviously, where you're living as you're watching this. You could be in California and, other parts of Florida, Michigan, Maryland, any of the 48 or rather 50 states of this country. What he's doing is the same thing a lot of mayors are doing around the country, a lot of governors, a lot of city council. In order to fight the spread of COVID-19, they're going further and further in terms of the type of orders and mandates that they're giving the public. Now, Mayor Demings hasn't, as far as I know, violated his own orders the way Governor Newsom has, the way the mayor of Chicago has, but nonetheless, despite what he was saying to me about not being a lawyer, the reality is I've interviewed lawyers, I've interviewed other politicians and city council members, as well as members of the public, and they are all in agreement. He doesn't actually have the legal authority to require people to wear a mask, which by definition and extension means it doesn't seem reasonable that he would fine businesses for them requiring individuals to do which they're not legally required to do. Okay. Now, I did speak to the city's lawyer that was on hand after the meeting, and we spoke for about a good 10 spirited minutes, and his view was that this is no different than if you try to walk into a business establishment without shoes or a shirt on. If you do that, that business can ask you to leave. If you decide not to, they can call the police, have you arrested because you are violating a public health statute or law of, as it were. And it's an interesting point to make, except that this isn't the same. See, going into a store with bare feet or without pants or without a shirt, those are statutes and laws that are already on the books. This isn't really an issue about whether or not something like this could be made legal. If the governor of Florida, Governor DeSantis, wants to get together with the legislature and pass a mandated mask law for the entire state, he could do that, and then the mayor would be appropriate in what he's doing right now. There would still be some constitutional pushback, I imagine, if Governor DeSantis did that, but in terms of the way Florida is set up, he could do that. So, since that hasn't happened, what the lawyer's talking about really doesn't apply. The other thing that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to bring this up on my computer as I'm talking to you because it's something I spoke about a couple of months ago, and I brought it up briefly, quickly in my question and answer with the mayor, but it needs some clarification on this. So in Florida, we have a statute 876. I'm going to look over at my computer and just read this for you, and I'm going to put it up on the screen. No person or persons over 16 years of age shall, while wearing any mask, hood, or device whereby any portion of the face is hidden, concealed, or covered as to conceal the identity of the wearer, enter upon or be or appear on any lane, walkway, alley, street, road, highway, etc., or any other public place in the state. Basically, what that means in layman's terms is it is against Florida law for anyone in Florida to go into a government building or a business establishment where most of their face is covered and would thereby conceal their identity. And when you're wearing a mask that should be covering your whole face, most of your face is obscured, especially if you have sunglasses on or a hat. So according to Florida statute, doing that is against the law. Now, we are in the middle of a pandemic where people have said that they believe masks and wearing a mask are effective in keeping the spread of the disease down. Okay? So because of that circumstance, the mayor and any mayor in the state is perfectly within their authority to ignore that law and allow people to go into any business or government building with a mask on. But the ability to ignore a law to the degree that any mayor can is completely different from creating a brand new law. So when speaking to the lawyer for the county, he brought up the fact that, listen, there's a statute that says executive orders have the full backing of as if they were law. However, when executive orders impede on individual rights, they don't have that power. In addition, our governor has said no mandates for individuals. So what Mayor Demings is trying to do is go through a loophole in which he punishes the businesses for this rather than the individuals, which seems completely ridiculous, because think about it. If you actually do have the authority to make individuals wear a mask, then by definition it means if they don't wear one, they're breaking the law, and thereby they should be the one that is punished, not the business. Giving you an example, if I walk into a business, get rowdy, police come, and after searching me, they find drugs, they don't cite or arrest the business owner for drug possession, because the business doesn't have anything to do with that. They arrest me, the individual, because I broke the law. Same concept applies here. If in fact the mayor of Orlando or any mayor in the state has the authority to put this type of mandate in place, then by definition it would mean that individuals who don't follow it are breaking the law, and they should be fined or arrested or given a ticket or whatever. But it's not appropriate for the business owner to be held responsibility for what an individual is supposed to do. And this is where lawsuits are going to come, and I expect that as long as the judge follows the law, the mayor would lose. Now, I say it in that manner because back in June, when the mayor first decided he was going to put through a mandate of this type, another Florida representative, a Republican state legislature, filed suit against the city. In that suit, the judge dismissed it. And I'm going to bring it up here so I can read you the beginning of the opinion, because when I read the opinion, it made me laugh. So we just put Mayor Demings sued Okay, let's see, where is it? It's gonna take me a second to find it because there was one specific, I wanna read you the exact wording from, okay, here we go. Bring that up. Okay, so this was his reasoning. The threat of COVID-19 is real, and the threat continues to evolve and spread, referring to the respiratory disease caused by the coronavirus. That's the, I'm sorry, that's the attorney for the county. Here it is. Judge John Cooper announced his ruling that face masks can help prevent the spread of the virus and said the ordinance has a valid basis to protect the public health. That's not a legal ruling, that's an opinion of the judge. And by that I mean, for it to be a legal ruling, the judge has to state the statute and has to go into where it actually is constitutional or not constitutional. Okay, what he's basically saying is he agrees that masks could help spread the spread of the disease, and as a result, it's okay to make people wear masks. This issue isn't an issue of whether masks can help help stop the spread of COVID. This is an issue of what does the mayor have the ability to make individuals do? How dangerous the disease is or isn't is not really relevant. And that's the whole point here. Mayor Demings has himself, as I pointed out in my report earlier, in April said he did not have the legal authority to require every individual in the county to wear a mask. He had an attorney at that meeting with him who basically agreed as well, and said part of the problem was if you're going to force people to do something like this, then the question becomes, what about people who can't afford a lot of masks? What about businesses? If the county is going to require it, then the county probably should be providing it. And certainly in this particular time, the county does not have the money to help businesses buy masks to give to all of their customers. So this has already been sort of talked about by the mayor himself. But similar to how President Obama did back in 2010 with DACA, he just ignored that and decided to do it anyway. And I'm embarrassed to say that there hasn't been a lot of pushback from local media on this order. They've seemed to have gone along with the idea that people who don't want to do it are the bad actors, the way the mayor calls them. So where does this leave us? I expect that there's going to be confrontations. Confrontations with the police, confrontations with the strike force that the mayor has, which is an interesting name for government officials going after business owners and the public. I expect there will be confrontations, and how far those confrontations are going to go, who knows? We've already seen it in the news without there being these sorts of laws or orders in place. And businesses are frankly in a rock and a hard place. If you're a business owner who just wants to be in business, you don't want to deal with the politics, you don't want to deal with the social questions, you just want to have the business open, then you're torn between your customers, many of whom don't want to do this, and business, well, rather the county coming down on you and trying to fine you. Obviously, business owners are probably going to gear more toward trying to listen to the county, because the county has the power of the police force, so you speak, in the public health, to try and force them, fine them, close them down. That's a much bigger problem for the business owner than getting into an argument with their customers. But it's going to happen, and I also expect that as a further result, there will be a lot of customers who just don't go into businesses. They'll use Amazon, they'll use Walmart, they'll have everything delivered to them, which is going to take much needed money out of the pockets of small business owners in the Orlando County area.